Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're exploring an open-source desktop AI that literally promises to change how you interact with your entire digital life. We're looking at a project that just exploded onto the scene. I mean, it topped GitHub's trending charts just days after its release. And it's built around one massive, foundational shift in how we actually use artificial intelligence.
Think about how we use most AI today, right? You open a chat window and you spend the first 20 minutes just pasting in your code, summarizing your meetings, trying to explain your project context just to get a somewhat useful answer. And then tomorrow, yeah, you have to do it all over again. But what if your AI knew everything about you before you even said a word? What if it had already read your emails, checked your calendar, and scanned your code repositories before you even sat down with your morning coffee? That is the promise of OpenHuman. It completely challenges that standard model of starting every single chat cold.
Let's jump into Section 1, the founder's story. Frustration leads to innovation.
So the barrier to entry for most AI agents today is, well, it's incredibly high. They're built mostly for developers, not everyday folks. The founder, Stephen Anamakel, actually experienced this firsthand earlier this year. He was trying to set up an open-source AI agent for his dad. You've got 3 grueling hours of configuring API keys, wrestling with complex YAML files, staring at a daunting command line terminal, until, honestly, they just completely gave up. The friction was simply way too high for a normal person to get any actual value out of the technology.
And that massive frustration led to a real epiphany. And Anamakel realized that every powerful AI agent today is built for the 0.01% who can spin up their own runtime. The other 99.99%, they're just watching the agent revolution from the sidelines. So OpenHuman was built specifically to bridge that massive gap. If we want everyone to benefit from these incredible tools, we can't expect them to be terminal jockeys, right? People need a clean desktop experience that just works right out of the box.
Which brings us to Section 2. What is OpenHuman? Your personal, local AI superintelligence.
At its core, OpenHuman is an open-source, local-first desktop app. It runs on Windows, Mac, and Linux, and it's built on the super lightweight framework, so it's not going to hog all your computer's memory like some of those heavier apps do. Instead of waiting for you to type out context, it works silently in the background, syncing your accounts every 20 minutes to build a continuous, local memory of your life. It actively maps out your digital world without you doing a thing.
And it connects to pretty much everything. We're talking over 118 third-party integrations available through simple one-click secure logins. You want to connect Gmail, Slack, GitHub, Stripe, Notion, Jira. You just click Connect, authorize the app, and boom, you are done. No complicated API keys to copy and paste anywhere. Once it's connected, OpenHuman acts as your proxy, reaching into all these tools to pull contexts or even execute tasks for you.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. If this thing is reading absolutely everything, won't my AI bill be astronomical? Well, to keep costs incredibly low, OpenHuman uses a proprietary layer they call token juice. Basically, it intercepts the data before it ever touches a large language model. It compresses bulky HTML into clean text, strips out the noise, shortens URLs, and independent tests show this compression reduces token consumption, and therefore your actual costs, by up to 70 to 80%. So sweeping 6 months of your inbox doesn't cost $20. It literally just costs pennies.
All right, Section 3, the memory tree, how your AI builds its memory.
This is the absolute spine of the whole architecture. Every 20 minutes, like clockwork, a background worker runs this totally fascinating auto-fetch loop without you lifting a finger. Currently, it hooks into Gmail, Notion, and Slack. At minute 0, it pulls in your unread messages. By minute 5, it canonicalizes that into readable markdown format. At 10 minutes, it chunks and scores everything into these neat 3,000 token blocks based on importance. Then it stores them hierarchically in a local SQLite database, and finally outputs it all to an Obsidian vault. It ensures your AI always has tomorrow's context today.
And unlike most AI, where memory is just this opaque black box, OpenHuman is incredibly transparent. That markdown vault it creates, it lives locally on your machine. You can literally just open the folder, browse the standard text files, and see exactly how the AI is mapping out your projects and relationships. And here is the absolute best part. If the AI learns something wrong or hallucinates a weird detail, you just open the text file, delete the incorrect line, and hit save. You fix it yourself. Next time you ask a question, it pulls the corrected context. It's brilliant.
Okay, Section 4, 5-minute installation. Simple setup for non-tech users.
So how do we actually get this running? It takes just 4 incredibly simple steps. First, you download the signed app directly from tinyhumans.ai. Second, you sign in and hit connect on your most used apps, like Gmail or Notion.
Third, you go grab a coffee and wait about 20 minutes for that very first background sync to do its thing. And fourth, you come back and ask a really context-heavy question, like, hey, what did I commit to in my emails last week? And you just watch it pull the exact data perfectly. It is genuinely that easy.
Moving on to Section 5, the privacy debate, security versus convenience.
We absolutely have to address the elephant in the room here. There is a massive, unavoidable tension between the genuine privacy of local storage and the undeniable security risks of handing over the keys to your entire digital castle. On the privacy side, OpenHuman is fantastic. Your data stays entirely on your device in local databases. You can even toggle on local AI inference using something like Google's Gemma 3, so your data never ever leaves your laptop. But on the flip side, we have aggregation risk. By giving one single application OAuth access to your emails, code, calendar, and payments, you're creating a highly concentrated attack surface. If someone compromises your machine, they've got everything.
Because of this, you've got to practice extreme caution. Just look at the broader market context right now. A rival agent, OpenClaw, recently suffered a brutal security incident where a malicious community add-on actually exposed users' browser passwords and crypto wallets. Now, OpenHuman itself has 0 published vulnerabilities right now, but it also hasn't had an independent security audit yet. So security experts are strongly recommending that you only download the official installer directly from their website. Definitely do not use pipe shell scripts from the terminal to install this. Stay safe from supply chain risks.
Section 6, who should use it? Is OpenHuman right for you?
If you stack OpenHuman up against other open source agents, it really carves out a specific niche. If you want a localized, clean user interface that remembers your digital life instantly, it's the clear winner. Competitors like Harmy's are great for long, autonomous workflows, but they're completely terminal first. And OpenClaw is powerful for handling tons of messaging apps, but the configuration is super complex. OpenHuman just takes minutes to set up. So it's a remarkably strong match for developers, founders, and privacy-conscious solopreneurs who are juggling 5+ tools all day. If you cannot afford to re-explain your entire business to an AI every single morning, having a copilot that is already up to speed with day one context is an absolute game changer. But who should wait? Well, because this is still early beta software without a formal security audit, enterprise IT departments and production environments should definitely hold off. Also, if you're a non-technical user who needs a 100% bug-free experience, or if you rely entirely on mobile apps, since this is desktop only for now, you'll probably want to wait for version 1.0.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. As AI becomes so deeply integrated into our lives, where do you actually draw the line between extreme AI convenience and your personal data privacy? How much of your digital world are you willing to share just to never start cold again? OpenHuman represents this totally fascinating shift towards an AI that reads you first rather than waiting for your prompt. It's an incredible step forward, but it requires a real, conscious decision about our digital keys. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning.